All right, and we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition, something of the Jedi Academy with your man with the plan, Ranger J 1999 here at RSG, where we bring the best and the brightest as content creators together, and then we sprinkle in a little bit of madness and dum-dum from us at the RSG members. And this is a Q&A show about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, the mobile game brought to you by Capital Gains, and this is quite an easy show. We put the panel together, and then we just sit here for 2 hours with you guys and answer your questions about the game. It's pretty simple, and if you would like to ask us a question, it's not hard to ask. All you have to do is put your question into the chat. But we do ask you to put the word question in front of your actual question statement because we use Nightbot as a filtering tool, and I use the word question as a filtering word to identify your questions and scoot them out of the chat. It helps us get your question. If you don't, then I'm sorry. Most times, sometimes I'll catch it, but most times I'm not looking at the chat when I'm doing this. I'm going back and forth, and I'm just pulling questions from that format. So if you want a question, please follow that format. I can't guarantee that we'll see your question if you don't do that. So get your questions in sooner rather than later as well, because sometimes we do get bum rushed when there's a lot of stuff going on with the game. But, whenever you get a chance, put your question in there and we will get it done. I hope everyone is enjoying the weekend. We will have GAC right after this, so as soon as I get done here with YouTube, the thing Kyrelli should be here, the GAC Whisperer, and we've got a crazy, ridiculous overmatch fight, but we will do the best we can, punching up above our weight class and trying to win. And so, if I can think of anything else, I cannot. So, with that, let the question of festivities begin. Joining me, we've got our first panelist here. We've got the drunken Santa himself, Heinzie.
Ho, 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 ho! Hello, everyone. How you going? Hey, you got to give a big shout out, of course. He's probably not listening, but he might watch later on. Our boy, Finn. It's his special day today.
Yeah, today Finn becomes a man.
Congratulations, Finn. And
yes.
And Mrs. Finn. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. It all happens really, really quickly before you know it. Blur. So, mate, make sure you take a second to embrace it and soak it all in because it's over before you know it.
That's
so,
right.
On behalf of, I'm sure, all of us here and myself, if you're out there, Finn, mate, have a wonderful day, mate. We're thinking of you.
I'm sure he's a little busy with marriage stuff. So, but yes. Congrats to Finn, of course. And I hope he doesn't drive his wife too crazy. His soon-to-be bride. Soon to be wife crazy, and at least she Black Widows his ass on the first night. So that's about. I got what I needed.
It went well. Yeah, no, it's all good.
Eats his head. All right, so get your questions in. Now, what we usually do here is, if you guys didn't see it last night, I was on the Heinzie stream with Playbook. And it was a lot of fun. So if you haven't checked that out, please do. Go to the Heinzie channel, the Galactic Legend Heinzie. And you can go check that out. It was a lot of fun. Heinzie did quite well in GAC. I mean, GAC, man, it's kind of a helter-skelter, Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing going on here, man, where one round you could have the advantage or you could have a huge mismatch like I kind of do in my next, even if I win this one, it's like I'm just looking at my opponents like, God dang, man, 700,000 more GP, 600,000 GP. I'm like, ooh, it's going to be a little rough. But Heinzie, you had it the other way last night, which it's just the way it is right now. You had a poor soul. I mean, what was the big mismatch in GP?
He's a great guy, though. Really cool.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
No. He reached out to me a few days before and said, holy, this is going to be and
diabolical.
Yeah, it was exactly that. It was look, I've had both matchups so far. My whole group, in all honesty, is I'm probably double everyone in my whole group. I really am. I don't know how or why. There's two out of the group of 8 that have Lord Vader. I'm one of them. The rest of them don't even have Lord Vader. My first round, I obviously went up against a guy who didn't have Lord Vader, didn't have Galactic Kenobi, and didn't have Cat. And I obviously have everything. Mm-hmm. So that was a rough day at the office for him as well. So, it's certainly all over the place. It's hit and miss. but we kind of knew that was going to happen, didn't we? I mean, this is nothing surprising. Obviously, yeah, some guys are getting it really rough and the matchups are going their way, you know, if they're on the wrong side of them. But yeah, it will even out. It'll just need a bit of time, I think.
Yeah, it is what it is. So, I mean, I'm gonna do everything I can to win. If I win, great. If I don't, you know, it's just the start of it. I don't, you know, record be damned. I don't care. So you know, this weekend will be GAC, and then the rest of my weekend will be conquest, and some more conquests as I finish these ridiculous feats. Just Heinz, you stab me, please, God. I'd rather you do that than you know, just stab me in my like little pinky toe so I bleed out slowly. And
I got the
prefer
red
that
crate
over
yesterday.
conquest.
Yeah, I got the red crate
yeah.
yesterday. I kind of found it better though because I know now, like always, the second time around, you know
sure.
You know, certainly make the whole feats more efficient.
Absolutely. You know,
that being
yeah,
gross.
Yeah, it's just those feats that are just what's really killing me is just you know, the feats themselves. It's just the repetitive nonsense of those feats, those big feats that you have to have if you want to get the red crate. Now the good news is, as I was telling Heinz last night, if I get this one done, then I really just have to do really nothing for the next conquest. I can just clear it and I'm done, right? So that'll be nice where I can just go in, take it easy, and clear it. So I'm gonna go a little bananas this weekend and try to get that one done because I'm just sick of looking at it. I'm sick of dealing with that. I don't want to deal with it anymore. But that we got Starkiller out now. We've got the 4 new marquees. I think we're getting ready too, Heinzie, for the holiday rush. Where if you're a newer player, if you haven't seen this before, I don't know what day it starts, but for like and through the beginning of the year, you'll have like the events over and over and over and over again. So you get tons of gear and stuff for that. You know, whatever level you're at. For us, I mean, the only one I don't have completed at level 3 is, of course, the Night Sister one. I just go in there. Yeah, yeah.
It's completely clear. If you're clearing that, mate, you're cheating.
It's
gross. It is gross.
Chewy. Yeah. So there's that. Anything else going on this week? No, just that. I mean, we're
had
just
Starkiller drop. I mean, we had Starkiller drop.
I know. Everyone says he's garbage, and you know, Playbook said it best last night. It's like if you wait till next week in GAC, you ain't seen a damn thing yet. And I agree with him 1,000%. But some of these other characters have had some impact on GAC. You know, Qui-Gon is a little surprise. Can be beaten, you know, if you know what you're doing. But if you get some surprise mechanics like. It can happen. It's like, hey, stun didn't land, ability block didn't land, nothing landed. Killed Qui-Gon.
If you misplay it as well, you're pretty well as well.
Pretty much.
It's certainly a really interesting dynamic on how that plays out. But yeah, if you play it right, you can knock it off. But if you make a wrong move or something doesn't go your way, geez, you're going to know about it really, really quickly. Yeah. I'm not sure that's going to stay. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out. Yeah. I don't think we're done with this yet. I just don't.
So, but anything else on your mind this week for SWGOH there, Hoinsey?
Yeah. I mean, I was having a sook last night, mate. Bring back the 2 Omicrons in the weekly shipments. They shouldn't have got rid of that. That was crap. I think that it's just a nice little. I know that we can get them in a lot of other places. I get that. I know they're available in a lot of different spots. But it was just a nice courtesy thing to do for the player base, honestly. In the grand scheme of it, we know we need a crazy amount of them. The drop rates are trash, you know, in Cantina Energy. It was just a nice little touch that none of us really, you know, saw coming. And I personally think that they need to bring that back. It's for the sake of 2 of them.
Yeah.
It's not the be all end all, mate. It's just not.
My thing was just they're gonna bring it back, make it worth getting because 9,400 whatever that shard currency was. That's a steep price to pay for 2 Omicrons. So I'm like, I didn't think it was worth it. So I don't care that it's gone. I mean, I get it. For me, I think that I said this last night. If you're an endgame player and you got all that shard currency, sure. I totally get if you want to get those extra 2 Omicrons. It makes total sense, and I can see if you were upset about it. But for the vast majority of players, I'm like, please don't buy buy that. That's horrible.
Yeah.
You know, you need all that gear, and that's a lot of gear out of that store, which is going to be changing soon, I think, because that's one of the changes we're going to be doing. We're going to have that steady gear that you need, like stun guns and stuff like that, that they said that they're going to have a separate little area where you just constantly get those and you just buy those over and over again, right? So, and that's one of the last changes they need to implement for phase 1. And then we'll get into phase 2. That'll be interesting to see where they go with that, Heinzie. Phase 2. Phase 1 complete. Phase 2 begin. So,
yeah.
All right. I don't think anything else in our mind. I'm just thinking of conquest, and I'm just like, God. Thank God for NFL football today. All right. Let's see here. With the questions are coming in. Good morning to everybody. Good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are on the world.
It don't even have to be about the game. If you want to ask me dumb Australian questions, I don't care. Just let's go. You know, let's do it. Go. Get the questions in.
Sure. I don't know if Heinz is the person we want to ask as the representative of the Australian people, but sure, if you want to. Yeah.
We're all paid actors by NASA, apparently, anyway.
Yeah, so, I mean, buyer beware. I'm just throwing that out there.
Well, no, you get what you pay for. Just saying, it's life. So, you know.
All right. What else? 73. Our first question of the day.
Yes.
What he says? Question: what's up with the Qui-Gon Jinn Omicron? Is it just not working right, or is it getting a nerf for what it's supposed to do? It's getting a nerf. I don't think it's getting a nerf. It's not working right. It looks like from the way that it's being explained, and Heinz, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's double dipping there for his.
That's exactly
stats.
Yeah. We were talking about that with Fatal last night, weren't we? Where basically he's double dipping. He's getting his offense, and before he passes it around to everyone else, and that's why it's just outrageous. It's definitely not working as intended, guys.
Trust me, it isn't. Oh boy, that thing's gross.
They came out and they made a post about it, almost pretty bloody quickly. So that's going to be fixed. It's just a matter of time. But apparently, I think they're stacking the offense or whatever else, and then sharing it around afterwards, which means that Anakin can do stupid AOE damage in one shot and knock out Galactic Legends, and I think that's not going to stay.
And I think the other one too that they mentioned was the Mara Jade situation. I kind of got a 50-50 on that. I don't think there's anything wrong with what Mara Jade's doing, so if they have to adjust, I hope they don't change it drastically or nerf it or something, because it doesn't need to be. Mara Jade is fine the way she is. She's really good. She doesn't need to be dick with. Just leave her alone. Leave her alone, damn it. Little adjustment I'll be okay with, Heinzie, but if they change something drastically, I'm like, oh, come on, man, for reals. So I
actually had fun with Mara Jade in the territory war we had. We used it up against just a standard sort of Mothma team with Kal-Katarn that was there, and oh my god, it just ripped it a new one. They didn't even get the turn. It was gross. Yeah. So there is nothing wrong with her.
Nope.
There is nothing wrong with her. Just using it against the right team and dialing it in. That's the key.
Well, it's because of, I think, Jedi Master Luke, what it's doing. It's like, okay, but I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing. We need, as I said, the more counters we have in this game, I don't care if they're a Galactic Legend or not. It should be harder to kill it, but if someone makes the investment and gets those mods, which is really, it's about mods, then let it rock and roll, man. Now, if it's something broke, then okay, you have to accept that it has to be fixed. But if it's just like, oh, we don't like this, like, oh, come on. See, next question for Heinzie from Darstein 1972. Heinzie.
He says, how are you, brother?
He says, for Heinzie, says, do we think CG is going to improve Conquest to make it less than a grind, or should we just resign ourselves to this is how it's going to be? How would you improve it? I've given my rant about all this stuff, Heinzie, but feel free to.
We know how much you love Conquest. You're a massive fan of it, Ranger. We've talked about this.
Oh boy.
Okay, look. This one's a really tough question because this is the way I see it. I certainly want it less grindy. There's no doubt. We all want it less grindy. I then look on the flip side that over a couple of weeks, you're getting a damn fine character over 3 or 4 conquests. Now, you do need to put in the work for this sort of stuff too. So I think finding a balance between earning it and making it less of a chore, it's hard to find that balance. They definitely overcranked it. That's a no-brainer. So yes, I'd like to see the 40 battles drop to like 20 or 30. Like, I mean, it's only 10, but it just means it's an extra day, or 2 or 3, like it certainly makes a big difference. The smuggler one, I've worked that out now. That's pretty easy. You can just do that on phase 1, and you just keep hitting, with nest. Honestly, it's that easy. So I mean, it's certainly the balance of finding the right teams. The first one's always gross because you don't know what the hell's going on, and you need a whole conquest to work out what teams work great. Ranger, I think we both agree with that. This time around, I found it a little bit better. It's still too grindy for me though. It definitely needs to be. It needs to be more fun, which it was early on, and I think we all agree that it was fun as hell.
Yeah.
The first few times, and it wasn't because it was new. It's just that the data discs seemed to be more creative, I think, in my mind. And I think that just made it a lot more engaging, I thought, instead of feeling like you just got to do this so many times over and over and over and over and over again. That to me made it pretty rough.
Yeah, they just need to make a decision on it. It's either go feats and get rid of stamina, or make it a little bit more difficult. Which I'll take that trade off if I have to worry about stamina, but I have to figure out like how to beat it. Sure, okay, or keep feats, or do the opposite, right? If it's just about battles and and no feats whatsoever, you can keep the stamina, whatever it is. But the combination of the two, I think, is the problem too, because with all these ridiculous feats, one, they're repetitive and grindy. It's not that it's difficult, but they're really pigeonholing a lot of players. When you say you want us to use our entire roster, you remotely cannot do that in these sectors. You either have the Galactic Legends or the high end teams, and you can only use them for so much, because the stamina causes basically. When the stamina causes your stats to go down, and then they put that over prepared nonsense in there where it's like, it's like you lose 10% stamina, you get in sector 5, your Rey and Kylo are basically they can get destroyed. And it's just like okay, but make up your mind on this.
There has to be a way that you can get like better data discs if you've got crap ones. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how to do that. Like I picked up some okay ones this time. Like I got the Perseverance one. Like
I didn't even see that one.
Sector 3. Yeah, see, I mean, I had that loaded up, and I think I had thermal exhaust, which dropped the detonators on as well.
Yeah,
I think it's exhaust. Yeah. So like I was taking a turn. Like, okay, so bounty hunters, for instance, okay. I would take a turn with bounty hunters. I'd do like an all-in brawl. Everyone would then go again and then drop all the detonators on, and they'll just pop, blowing up. Like, that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. For me, I thought that was pretty cool because, it's something that's different. And I think the trick is, if you haven't got the data disc that you need or want, and it's such a luck of the draw, it really is. Yeah. I think that you can have a really good run, and it doesn't hurt as much. Or if you get really bad data discs, you got to bring the lube, because
something, man. It's just yeah.
Like,
the way conquest is, and I know there's some out there that like it, and more power to you, but I just think that it is a dumpster fire. I mean, I always say when CG gets stuff right, and they get a lot of stuff right, I sing the praises. I'll defend them. But when they get it wrong, they get it wrong. And Conquest it's not fun. It's not an enjoyable experience. It's just something that we have to do.
It's kind of fixable. I mean, that's the thing. It's not something that can't be adjusted.
I know.
I think that there's definitely a way that if they tweak a few things around and maybe listen to the community a bit and just go, you know what? Okay, look, maybe we do this, and this. And I'm not talking about making it really easy peasy to complete. Like, I'm not talking about that, because you don't want that either. It needs to be a challenge. But they're tweaking a few things, like having better accessibility to data discs, or, making sure that certain data discs can be acquired along the way. I think just can make the difference between it being a better experience or a worse one.
Yeah.
But we're just going to have to wait and see, aren't we?
I think for Conquest, my ideal for it is get rid of the feats, make it difficult, but but make it challenging, like you did with the Malik event.
Or even just halve them. I mean, once you've done like 20 instead of 40, you kind of get the drift, don't you? Yeah. You got to do it a repetitive amount of times, and that's fine. 20, 30 at a pinch if it's a 40, like if you can take off like 25% of the feat, attempts that you need to do on stuff like that, I would be probably okay with it. Yeah. I think that's like, okay, I'm earning this still, but it's not ridiculously stupid, and we still have enough time, especially for free to play guys, to complete it.
Yeah,
because they have to do less feats.
they're not using.
And
Yeah, they're not. If you're not spending crystals on this, you're not beating these feats,
oh,
all of them. And you're not getting the higher boxes.
you're
You
not getting
know,
that.
and
Yeah.
so and if you're gonna tie GAC with crystals, and the crystal income is a lot better, but it's still, players that are trying to work on characters and stuff. I mean, they're not gonna. Yeah, it puts them behind the 8 ball, and I don't like it.
100%. And no one wants that.
No.
No one wants that.
No.
But unfortunately, you will need to earn it, guys. I mean,
Yeah, it still have to be earned.
give it to you, they may as well just give it to you in the inbox. That's not right. You got to earn it, and you got to put the work in for it. And I'm okay with that. I really am okay with that. But I just think that they really probably dulled it too far.
Yeah,
and
so.
if they make a couple of tweaks here and there, I think it could be a little bit more enjoyable, or at least less grindy. It's going to be less of a stress and less of a, a drag.
Yeah.
I think that's just me. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Wilson, and our Wilson says, question: would you like to see Starkiller as a boss in Conquest?
Oh yeah, bring it.
That'd be cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
That'd
okay
be
with
cool
that.
as hell. I mean, there's no reason why not. I mean, I like the way that, certainly the bosses are working at the moment. I really like the bosses they've got in there. I think they're pretty cool. So yeah, there's actually no reason why Starkiller couldn't, be a boss down the track,
Mhm.
in this one or the next one or into 2022.
Sure.
There's certainly no reason why it cannot be. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out. But what are our bosses at the moment? So we've got GK, we've got obviously we've got what's her name? Sorry, the Night Sister Asajj with her other suit on. We got Han. The Han one's really cool. How you got to hit everyone but Han. That was really fun. I like that. I really, really, really liked Jedi Knight Luke's one where they had Lando, and I don't know how many people noticed or not. I did, and I think a lot of other people did. But Lando's in that, but Lando has the Return of the Jedi, mask helmet on as well, like that whole skin. I thought that was a really cool touch. I really, really liked that. That was great. And Gideon's pretty cool, with the triple landing, and you've got to get around him, and it's hard to get around them as well. And you take out Gideon, he comes back until you kill everyone else. I like the strategy with the bosses. It's pretty cool. And there's little touches of brilliance in there. There absolutely is. But yeah, the feats they're just rough.
Yeah,
they're just rough.
They're super rough. They're
Yeah.
so rough, Heinz. God.
I love it. Going in dry.
The old dry tactic, eh? Not gonna fall for that. All right. Let's see here. Next question. What else? 73 question. Heinz says Heinz's a lot of other places seems kind of relative. You can buy a 3 for $40, or if you have luck in Cantina and challenges.
Talking about Omicrons.
Yes, Omicrons. Yes.
Yeah, so talking about Omicrons. Yeah, look, you can buy 3 for $40. Look, you know what you can do, and we talked about this last night as well, and it's gross. There's a pack coming out in the next week or so, and it's like $100 US, right? $100 US, and it's got 30 Omicrons in it and a couple of Kairos, and that's about it. And that is, I think, probably the grossest pack to come to this game in a heck of a long time. It's something I'm not a huge fan of, and I'm a spender. It is what it is. You guys know that it's nothing new, but even I look at that and I think that, that's just gross. And then couple that with taking them out of weekly, shipments as well. That's like another slap in the face. So you can get them in other places. I get that, but geez, that's rough. That's just rough. Anyway,
I blame Finn. All right. Obi Frankie says, question: Who was the winner out of Zam and Qui-Gon Jinn Omicrons? Only have the one to apply.
Yeah.
They're both really delicious.
Well, I spoke to Fatal about this actually before lock last week. I hit him up and said, Fatal, I'm a bit torn. I have an Omicron sitting here, and I want to do Qui-Gon, and I want to do Zam, and I don't know which one to do. And I said, mate, give me some advice on what you would do if you're in my shoes right now. And he said, Heinzie, go for Zam. He said, go for Zam. And I think now that Qui-Gon's certainly going to get a bit of a tweak in one way, shape, or form, he's probably going to be less effective. I'm not saying he's no good, But I went the direction of Zammy. You know, he had a pretty good case in the end. I put it on defense. It's like, guys, you know, you have fun with that on defense. It got a hold because they underestimated it. And I mean, it did its job. That's really what it's all about. So I'm quite happy that I certainly did Zam. I have Zam's Omicron loaded on. I've got Dash's Omicron loaded on as well. And Dash also got a hold. They both did. It just underestimated it, and it just ran rampant. It really did. So it's it's a bit of fun. But look, in time, go for both. I mean, GAC certainly, guys. I mean, the rewards are there now. That's where the crystals are. You're going to want these wins, 100%. So you investing in any Omicron for GAC really, I guess, is not going to be a bad thing because it'll just give you another nice strong team that you can put on defense or use in attack, and that ain't a bad thing.
No, I agree. I mean, so if you had to pick one, I mean, they're both really good. I mean, I ain't gonna hate you, as I said, for whichever one you do, but I'm kind of wondering about the Qui-Gon one. Now that they're saying they're going to change it and stuff, I mean, if you're going to play it safe, and if you see a message like that, you're probably like, well, let me go for Zam first then and see what happens with the Qui-Gon Jinn Omicron, right? So we don't know how they're going to, I mean, I hate to tell you, go get Qui-Gon, and then they change it, and you're like, oh no, I hate it. So maybe go with Zam first, but it's not a bad Omicron to get because it's pretty dope. So, Darsign 1972 question: how long until we think matchmaking and GSC will balance out? I'm either facing the people who are 2 million GP 2 million more GP than me, or I'm facing people who have 3 GLs to my 6 GLs. Not much fun. It's going to be about at least until the next round, I think, before it really starts settling out there. Heinze, what do you think?
Yeah, you're going to have this whole month of GAC rough or good. Like, it's going to be all over the place. This whole, because the actual skill points really haven't been adjusted, and I don't think they really get adjusted until the end, if I'm correct. So you're still going to get these crazy matchups this whole month because there's no other starting point to work off at this point in time. So this whole 4-week window is going to be a mix of matchups. You're either going to have a really, really good matchup, or you are going to be in the gun firing line. You're really going to have to try and pull something out. Look, guys, we knew this was the case. I mean, it's nothing to complain about. We know that it's going to take time. It's just that after a month or two, if we're still getting these crazy matchups, you're going to start getting people putting their hand up going, hey, guys, CG, come on, guys. Like, we should have this sorted by now. You know, we shouldn't be getting these stupid matchups. So, we got to give them a bit of time for it to filter. And I'm okay about that.
Yeah, it's just going to take... but I think as we get into the next batch of GAC, right, then we can start complaining about it after the first round or two. We can say, okay, wait a minute, this shouldn't be happening. But then again, based off where you're at, too, you still could get mismatches, because if you're doing really, really well, and say you're in Division 1, and I'd say I win all my matches, right? Not saying I will, but let's say I have a really, really incredible record, and I run someone that's got 9 million GP. Hey, man, I won. You know, like, say I was like 8-1 at the time, or say 13-1, and I roll into the monster account. Well, that's the way it's supposed to. It's supposed to knock me down. So, you know, it's a mismatch. It's skill rating, I've won all those matches, so that's the way it's supposed to work. So,
but you might get a monster matchup against a stupid account that might be, you know, 300 or 400k, you know, GP more than you in time. It could be 1 million GP more, but that account won't be participating in it. That's why they drop to that level, because remember, they're going to filter down. So don't panic if you're going to get like a 1 million differential in your matchups automatically off the bat in the next couple of months, because that guy probably doesn't even hit, and he started at the top because his GP was.
All right. Let me see the next question here. I think a little wacky. Well, 73 says, question, I might be alone in this, but I really miss the Hulkster Heinze mustachey.
Okay, so Mrs. H is not disappointed. She's happy it's gone. So let's be clear. It's really nice and comfortable back in the boudoir again. The couch was my friend for a month. So look, it's going to come back, guys. It'll come back again in November. We'll do Movember again next year, and it'll come back. Maybe if I do some dumb bets or something during the year, it might come back for that. Or if we hit a big achievement or a benchmark, we might bring it back. We'll see. But November next year, guys, it's definitely going to make another appearance because it's for a good cause. Yeah. So yeah, that's where the stash is at right now.
She wasn't feeling
fun with it.
Yeah, she wasn't. No. She wasn't enjoying the Fu Manchu look, huh?
She wasn't. Oh, look, I on purpose made it look as disgusting as possible. Let's be honest. I could have made it look a lot neater. You know, we could have had just more of the goatee, maybe, you know, a little bit of the flavor saver type style. I could have done a lot of different things with that, and I chose not to on purpose to make it look as stupid as humanly possible. And I did that, I think, with flying colors. Let's be honest. So yeah, look, it'll come back. It'll come back. Don't stress. It's not the only time you're going to see the stash. Don't worry about that. It'll pop.
Be okay. Darsign 1972 question for Ranger: would Conquest be a little bit more bearable if CG made it run for 3 weeks instead of 2 weeks, and people can relax a little bit? It's not that. I don't mind. I think 2 weeks is plenty of time, but the problem is that it's because I can finish Conquest really fast if I want to. But again, it's investment of crystals. It's just the repetitive nature of it. I enjoy challenge. I enjoy, beating something for the sake of beating it. But this is not a challenge. This is not something that's like remotely fun or challenging. It's just repetitive. Like when you do 40 battles with the bounty hunters, it's 40 battles. I mean, let's call it what it is. It's the same thing over and over again. And the problem with this, too, with the stamina and the way they've over-prepared, I have crazy good bounty hunters. I mean, crazy good bounty hunters. I can't use them in a lot of these sectors because they'll get blitzed and destroyed, right? They've over-prepared these teams, and this is the other thing that pisses me off. You say you want us to use our roster. It wouldn't be so bad, Heinzie, if I can go with my bounty hunters every day and just go do, 3 or 4 battles a day with them and knock out some of the feats in one zone and just get the overall feat. I can't do that because when you get to Sector 3 and above, these over-prepared nonsense relics, as they get dramatically increase each level, it makes it to where some of these other teams are damn near impossible to use. And I've got crazy good mods and crazy good teams with really good relics, and it's like I got no shot. And so I have to sit there and grind it through, knock out the feats, and then go in the last couple days and just do this thing where and I have to wait for stamina. It's like, well, I'll just go in there and hit the stamina thing and do these battles with these tunes where I just go into Sector 1 and find the easiest battle and just repetitively do it over and over and over again. That's not fun. I don't find that challenging, and I don't find that rewarding. I don't feel like I accomplished anything other than just what I did the same thing over and over again. Yeah, it's silliness, So they increase it to 3 weeks. It's not so much. It's the repetitive nature of it, and it's just some of the mechanics that they are completely missing on. Right? It's just you should be rewarded if you want us to have this incredible roster with all these relics and stuff and these teams, and then pigeonhole people with only be able to use like Galactic Legends, like the high ones like Kenobi or certain teams like that in Sector 5. And then do something really silly like make Bad Batch one of the required teams that you have to use, and you're like, where the hell am I going to use Bad Batch in Sector 5? And even with high relics, the stamina issue comes in. It's just a lot of stuff like that. I think is more the problem, not the time overall that we do Conquest. It's just these other things. So sorry, you got me talking about Conquest. I got upset. Oh God, I can't stand it. I'm just sitting there looking at it right now. I'm just looking at Conquest, just staring at it right now, like. I have to do that.
It's all good, bro. It's all good. It's It's okay. It'll be fine.
Oh boy.
Get it out, mate. And you'll be right.
Hopefully. The Llama question. If the Llama beats 2 of Heinz's squads in TW, does that mean he is the new Galactic Legend? Oh, Heinz getting called out here by the Llama.
Well, Llama. Did I face you, Llama? Because we went up against Morkaiba. Were you in Morkaiba? Because I don't know what your account name is. I assume you might have changed it, but I'm not sure.
I think the name of it is not the Heinzie.
Honestly, to be honest, Llama, now that we're going head-to-head these days with you and Kate, beware, because I'm coming for you. Just saying, look out. Let's go. Let's go.
All right.
Let's get up.
I like this. It's full of feistiness.
I'm down. Let's throw down. We took down more Kyber a few days ago. It was a lot of fun. It was a really, really cool contest. So let's get after it, Llama. Let's go. Bring it. Just bring it.
All right.
Let's go.
I respect that. Yeah. I respect it.
Yeah. And when you do a drop battle, because I'll be watching, when you do a drop battle on it, I'll be hitting you up in a DM. Don't you worry about that. So be careful.
Oh.
Bye.
Oh, my. All right. What else in 3? Question. Would it be weird if they made the light side version of Starkiller a Galactic Legend? No. It would be weird. As much as we've been through in this game, man, nothing it just surprises me, shocks me, or gets me amped up anymore. It's just like, okay, Galactic Legend.
Think we'll get one though? Do you think we'll get a light side Starkiller or not? Like,
I mean it makes sense. Like, like if you look at just the progression of these characters. Now, I don't know what they'll make them, right? Because we could get, like Mary Jade and Kyle, for instance, just throwing 2 characters that are marquee at the moment, right? They could become like a legendary event because Mara Jade and Kyle are huge characters in the EU, and they both become Jedi Masters. Actually, Mara Jade trains under Kyle Katarn. That's her first teacher, really, in the light side of the Force, and spends time with him. And they're all interact, but I could see, of course, I already said what I want, Heinze. I want Vushin Vong, Prego, 5 months, Prego, Mara Jade kicking the crap out of everything because she did so in the books, and she was ridiculous. And so... but no, I could see them doing stuff like that. Could they bring Starkiller in as a Galactic Legend, light side? Absolutely. I mean, with them bringing these characters in, Heinze, from the Legends, that just shows they've got the world's their oyster, and there's so much material that they can pull from to do anything they want now.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, I think there's certainly a possibility. I just don't think it's priority now with so much other cool stuff coming out next year. Like I really, really like how the whole Legends idea and concept has certainly buffed teams that we had in the system and made them even better. I really love that in one way, shape, or form, because let's be honest, they've been sitting on the bench, right? A lot of them. So I really, really am enjoying the concept of adding that extra level of theory crafting and a little bit more excitement to a team that really you just don't use anymore because it's just not strong enough. I reckon that's been a really, really cool idea. And certainly you don't need to make a team out of all 4. You don't need all 4 if there's one that you really want, and Mara Jade's the one you want. Let's just say that up bat, right? Like, she's just
I've given my I think you go for Mara Jade, then you do Kyle. Depending on where your count is, I think Talon is such a good addition to the Sith Triumvirate, and then Dash. But they're all really good. I mean, if you did Dash second, I wouldn't hate you. But there is
Dash underrated. Yeah, Dash is really good.
Yeah, that prepared mechanic's ridiculous. So they're all really good. But I think for me, those 2 teams with the Emperor and the Empire and Momo and with Kyle, they're really gross teams, man. They're really good. So
100%.
All right.
Can I just respond quickly if I can? Llama's out there. So I did actually face Llama in the territory war.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes, you lost by about 300 banners, I think. You beat my butt twice, Llama. That's great. Can you do me a favor? Can you please just let Arnold know that his Lord Vader team needs to be a lot stronger because I whooped that really easily. That'd be great.
Oh, snap.
And can you also let him know his gas needs some more love too?
Oh, snap.
That was pretty easy too.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Heinz is calling out. I
love the Grand Admiral. I'm mucking around. I did take a few teams out. I may or may not have screenshotted me taking them out.
For posterity purposes, yes, understandable.
My own shits and giggles. I may or may not have done that. But yeah, it was a really, really fun battle. And Llama, full kudos to the guys at More. We love you. Full respect. Straight up.
Let's see here. All right, just as a reminder, guys, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. If you like the content that we're doing here for Jedi Academy, make sure you check out the Galactic Legend Heinze's channel on Twitch. It's a lot of fun. You should be checking it out. And then if you have a question, remember, guys, format. I can't see the chat when I'm doing questions because it's hard for me to go back and forth. So if you have a question, make sure you put the word question, or if it's a statement you want me to read, make sure you put the word question in front of your actual question statement. So that's the only way I'm going to see it because it's how I'm scooped up question. So here we go. All right. Wolfell. Oh boy, hang on, Heinzie. Wolfell's an angry man when it comes to this game.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
see.
go, Wolfell.
Yeah,
Let's
looks
go.
like this is another angry question.
Bring
I
it.
can count on Wolfell here. Here we go, baby. He says, "Question: Do you think Starkiller event was a test event to see how much they can milk for the the something for so little effort?"
I
Um,
assume that Wales is probably what I'm tripping.
not Starkiller as a character, just for Relic 5 to show that the destroy this the to show the Star Destroyer ability.
Oh, um, look, I don't think that they use it as a testing ground because, to be honest, they know they can milk it one way or another anyway. I
Yeah,
think
so
that
I mean that's
I
yeah.
don't think that event is the only reason why you'd be testing a milking situation of any player. Because if they want it, they know from their metrics what works and what doesn't already. That's
Right.
just blatantly obvious.
They got 6 years 6 years of data to go with it. So
100%. They know by now what works and what doesn't. If they haven't, they got rocks in their head. So, hey, they don't make $1 billion game. It doesn't make a crazy amount of money if they don't know what they're doing from a metric point of view, and they know how to hit the right marks, guys. That's just a fact. So I don't think that particular event did. I just think in general, I like the graphic Starkiller. In pulling the cruiser out of the sky. Sorry, God, I lost it. You know what I'm saying? I love that effect where he rips out the ship out of the sky. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah, Star Destroyer.
Sorry, can't take me anywhere. It's late. You get the point. It looks freaking awesome. That's all that matters.
Well, that gets into a question. I'm skipping ahead, but I saw this one. Jibo6969 says, "Question: The Starkiller is Starkiller's event the worst event in the game?" It was disappointing, Heinzie. I got to say, as good as the characters look and the amount of time and detail that went into those characters, I have no problem with the way the characters look, the graphics, their abilities. It was well thought out. I think they're really good. Starkiller looks incredible. All that stuff is fine. I got to say, the event, garbage. The more I think about it, the more upset I am getting. And I'll tell you why, because really what it was, and I was so disappointed because I watched Loki do it, and at first I was like, wait, no, they didn't do that. And I couldn't pick up on it immediately. Loki did. Basically, you just did each of one of the battles of the marquee battles with each of the characters. Yeah. And then they did Starkillers, and it was very disappointing. Now, don't get me wrong, the hangar scene that they created there was cool, but it's just a bunch of stormtroopers. That's just the stormtrooper scene, which I get, but it was just you kill stormtroopers to a certain point till you reach Force Unleashed, and then you win. And it was like, when you compare to the other stuff like the Luke event and these other events that they created that had all this cinematics, like if you look at the last UGLs with Lord Vader and Kenobi, whichever one you do, it's very iconic and very cinematic. It's really cool to to see that kind of stuff. They could have done crazy stuff with this. I don't know what the disconnect was for this, but to unlock for what it costs for those that spent to get Starkiller and just to get that character. I know it's only 4 characters, but they're not. They're just now starting to come into the freemium. Well, not freemium, but this just started to become where they're getting expedited. But it's still, that's a huge investment, and for an event like that just to be that, Heinz, I was kind of I was like, that's disappointing. That's bad.
You kind of didn't get, dare I say it, bang for your buck. I'll admit that. Yeah. On the flip side, though, I think probably one of the best events we've had recently was the Dash one. I mean, that was really cool.
Oh,
how it was
sure.
all straight out of the game. Like, they put a lot of effort into that, and I actually really, really liked that concept of bringing, going back to that whole retro feel and theme of doing that event. I thought that was really, really fun. So, yeah, look, the Starkiller one was disappointing. Absolutely, it was. And being the big draw card that it was, I think that probably didn't help it either. The characters build up, and therefore, so was the event.
I thought that was cool. I mean, and I loved like some of the new backgrounds and stuff. It was cool, but I mean, if you're going to bring in a character like Starkiller, and you're going to make him, especially when his abilities are that wicked badass, where it's like you're looking at the Force Unleashed, the video game, which I thought they captured beautifully. And then you do that event, it's like you're just rehashing. Yeah. Come on, man.
They could have definitely drawn more out of the game for that event, whether it's some sort of a cutscene or something. 100%.
They could have done cutscenes for each of that, for each of the characters. Yeah. Just a little cool cutscene. They could have just done like the Starkiller one where, you do the hangar scene and then they show him fighting Vader and throwing his ass to the wall. If they just added that could have made it a little bit. I'm just throwing like something that could have made it a little bit more fun and exciting for the player base is to have those feels, because that's what Star Wars is. It's feels. So I think they missed the mark on this event. I will 1,000% agree on that. I was disappointed. Let's see here. Darsar 1972. We did this. No, we missed this one. Question: if CG changes the Qui-Gon Jinn Omicron, do you think CG will refund the player base the Omicron? Of course.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
they always do that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Yep. They'll roll it.
Nathan H. question: does gas counter any GLs now? If so, whom?
Yeah, gas still takes down, I think, was it Ray?
Ray, yeah.
Today? Yeah. So gas still takes down Ray, but you've got to mod it, tune it really well. I think you have to have also a specific, under a certain damage level or some sort of protection level as well to make it a little bit more viable and a little bit more comfortable. But yeah, I believe that if you got it tuned right, I mean, there are videos out there. I can't remember who released it off the top of my head. I'm sorry. But yes, at the moment, gas still takes out Ray at this point in time. Again, subject to change. We'll see how long that lasts.
We'll see how it goes.
At this point in time, yeah, that still works.
All right. Nathan H. says, question: how is Christmas celebrated down under?
Well, it's actually, hey, thanks for the question, man. It's cool. So obviously
I guess you just wake up, eat Vegemite, and say Merry Christmas.
No.
Drink some Fosters.
It's actually quite a traditional thing. So we're actually, it's summer down here, so it'll be generally quite warm. Which will be nice. So
weird hearing that it's going to be sunny Christmas.
Today here was 90 degrees today in Australia. Right.
God bless you, sir.
So so we're having a great time here right now. We're eating the good stuff. But yeah, we normally we're catching up with Mrs. H's family on Christmas Day. I catch up with my family Christmas Eve. For drinks and dinner and celebrations and stuff. And then Christmas Day, we will we'll have my kids. I've got a few kids, of course. We'll do the whole the presents and stuff in the morning, and then we pack up for lunch. We're going to drive about half an hour away from here, from where I live, and we'll be catching up with about, I think, 25 or 30 uncles, aunties, cousins, all that sort of stuff, and we'll have a full sit down 3-course meal. So there'll be the turkey, there'll be the ham, there'll be the lamb as well.
Kangaroo.
Roast pork, not lamb, pork. And then all the trimmings, all that sort of stuff, all the salads, bits and pieces, seafood entree. Very similar to, like, you guys have got shrimp. We've got one similar to that, prawns. There'll be garlic and chili on the grill. So we'll have them as an entree as well. That'll be nice.
On the barbie. Oh boy.
And then a full dessert, of course, the old school Christmas pudding.
So bring us some figgy pudding, and bring Heinz some figgy pudding. All right, so there you go. Christmas in Australia.
Yeah, so it'll be a lot of fun. And then we normally play sport in the afternoon. We try and burn it off with a bit of local sport, cricket, of course.
There you go.
So we play a bit of a backyard cricket match as well afterwards. So a bit of fun.
I'm just protecting his widgets. All right. What else? 73 question. Do you think Omicron should have more than just one mode they are functioning in? At the moment, no. I think they're being a little cautious with Omicrons, and it's a new thing. It's a new concept. It'd be cool eventually if they did, Heinzie, but I kind of like that they're taking it just, one thing for each character, and, at the moment, because you imagine we had these Omicrons that had like TW and GAC or TB and stuff. I mean, it would be nice. I guess they could eventually do that. I wouldn't mind that if they had an Omicron where...
But it'd be cool if they kind of showcased one of the characters in, if one particular character had an Omicron, even if you have it activated or not in your roster, would it be cool that it was sort of, say you picked Zam's Omicron, for instance, right? Mm-hmm. And that one actually did the whole stats in Conquest for that Conquest only, for that run, for one Conquest. Not all of them, just the one. And then maybe next time around, you might do Qui-Gon Jinn's one. Like he will automatically have those buffs built in at the start, something like that.
I've never been a big fan of that because they always dick that up. So I remember the TW. But remember when they did that with TW, and some of it was fun, and then some was like, oh hell no, you didn't. It was like, this is awful.
I guess I'm just thinking out loud of a way that people sort of
creative.
get their head around how they work and have fun with them before actually shelling out for them. But anyway. Whatever
No,
works.
whatever makes you happy. Darstar 1972 question for Ranger: will the GAC center now change with the changes to GAC? Of course. We'll probably run it next Thursday. Just so we can get our feet wet, give some time for the players to adjust and stuff like that. But I'm going to change a few things, like who's in what division and stuff like that, and who we're covering and things of that nature. But yeah, but it'll still be the weekly report, who did what. But definitely with some grain of salts, because this is not the old GAC. This is not. I mean, if someone goes undefeated, well, that's going to be pretty impressive because, especially in the first month or two, especially the first two GACs, I think. If someone goes 9-3, I might be overly impressed because just these matchups, you just don't know what you're going to get. It's so up in the air. So we'll take that with a little bit of grain of salt, and then, trying to adjust, what people's records are, because it's really about your skill rating and your points. And it's not so much your win-loss in a sense. There's a few little adjustments we'll be making, but yeah, it'll still be hey, this week this person so-and-so went 2-1 and they had this many holds and all this kind of stuff. So it'll be a lot of that'll be staying the same. So there you go. Darsign 1972 question: what has been the best 5 events in the game? For me, Jedi Luke was the best event in the game, followed closely by CLS. Well,
Jedi Knight Luke, hands down, was by far the best event that we've had in the game. I really, really enjoyed that. A sleeper for me actually was the old school Jedi Training Ray event as well. I thought that was a bit fun. That was the first one where they actually, in my mind, included different dynamics to that event. Like the whole grab the saber thing where you pushed a button and then just grab the saber and that moved on to the next stage. Like I think that was really fun and creative at the time because I went in pretty blind with that and didn't really know what to expect. That was one of the earlier fun ones that I really, really enjoyed. I'm just trying to think. CLS was really cool. I actually still like the Darth Malik one. That was a real challenge.
That was going to be that's still one of my favorite events that they put together. I enjoyed that thoroughly. I think that the changes to the Galactic Legends, the way they went from because the first one with Ray and Kyle, let's just call it what it is, was poop. Especially with the paper rock scissors, but then after that, going more to, you just unlock these characters, you just have to grind through getting them, especially like their ultimate, instead of making it the way they did, especially with the cinematic feel to it, whether it was Luke or Palpatine or it was, Kenobi and, Lord Vader this time. I really enjoyed that they did that. It's hard enough to get these characters with the gear and relics that are required, but I really like that. Bam's event, Jibo says in the chat.
That was the last
that
one.
Was really, that
was wonderful. They nailed that. Absolutely nailed that. That was where that's where the polygons came to force, Ranger. That was really fun.
It was so nice. And I think that I want them to keep doing that. That's why I was so disappointed with the Starkiller event, is like, you have to, if you're going to make people go through the hoops to get these characters or GLs and stuff, it's nice that when you get in there, you just get the feels, those Star Wars feels, right? That's what we play this game for.
Tingle. All about the tingle.
Yeah, it's a little tingling in the leg. That's all I got to say. Then you're doing something right.
In the tripod. That's what you want.
But some of the other events I could do without ever facing them again. Gas was horrible. Yeah. Boy, was that a horrible event. Oh, no. Chewie was rough, too. Yeah. So, there's some that are like, they're fun and they're exciting and I like the changes. And then there's some I just remember stringing for 19 hours going, please someone end me. Please, for the love of God, end me. All right, next question. Jibo says, question: should all the Omicrons turn on in Squad Arena so people can test them out? I wouldn't have a problem with that. I mean, Squad Arena is just sitting there, Heinze.
We still got the crystal refreshes in there. That's probably my gripe right now.
Yeah, I don't think those need to be in there.
No, get rid of the crystal refreshes. Honestly, there's no incentive now to do it. There's no reason to actually need crystals because you're not getting awarded crystals in it. I think that, I really use maybe your ally points. That could be fun. That could be something else, that you could use now, something along those lines. That could be cool.
Sure.
I personally think no. Remove the crystal refreshes. That to me is certainly, my biggest little bugbear now, that there's no other sort of crystal rewards in it.
Yeah.
Pretty frustrating. Yeah.
I agree with that. Let's see here. Um, let's see. Darsign 1972 question. CG has been brilliant with Omicrons for most of the player base. They have with Omicrons for most of the player base. They have to choose: do you do an Omicron for TW to help your guild and Relic 9, or for JC to help yourself with crystals? Thoughts? I mean, in a guild that competes in TW and stuff, but I mean, we take it pretty seriously, but we're not like at the top level, probably where you're at, Heinze, with those top end guilds that are really all about TW.
Yeah.
I think it's a balance because I don't think any guild could say, "Hey, everybody just do TW Omicrons." I think that's silly because then they're gonna start falling behind in GAC, and if they can't get their crystals and stuff, I mean, that's silly too. So I think it's situational. I think it's got to be a balance, for the guilds and stuff.
It's tough because every guild is different and have different
right
requirements. Okay, so at the top end, for instance, in my guild, which is one of the top ones, there's no forced requirement to have a certain Omicron locked in. Right. With that being said, they go, guys, if you are putting Omicrons on, it'd be great if you can. We recommend this one. Like that's the type of thing. So it's not a case of we are forcing you to do it. It's more of a case of, guys, if you're looking to put one on, which obviously we recommend this is going to help the team. If you do it, this is the one to make sure you put on and not another one. So that's sort of how that type of thing works. But I think that's really a tough question because, every guild have, different needs and different requirements. Some don't take territory war seriously at all, so dump them all in GAC. Do all the grand arena ones instead if you really if your guild doesn't really have a huge interest in territory war. So some really want to boost their performance in light side GO. Well, go for Kolkatan, chuck it on. I mean, this is the thing. So that I like how they're designing them for different game modes, and I think that every roster is different, so it's quite hard to sort of give a clear answer on that. I'm sorry if I've gone around in circles, but it's a tough one.
Yeah. Oh boy, here comes Hellenix. Hold on to your head. Oh boy.
Yeah, Greek legend.
The Geek Greek is here. He says, question for Ranger. I actually tried this GAC. I won my first round against an auto set defense and lost my second. They had a GL. And I didn't. Am I doing it right yet? Because I feel really dirty inside. Nah, you're doing it right. If you feel dirty inside, then it means you did it right.
Yes, at the moment, because the matchups are trash.
Yeah.
They will cool down, brother. So just give it time.
Yeah, wait till you see mine after this. I'm doing my GAC. Wait till you see what I'm facing. Oh, boy. And then Hellenix says, question for Hoinsey. Says, my friend Rudolph's Aussie cousin is a red-nosed kangaroo who's spending Christmas at the beach. Being you're the most famous Australian I know, can you verify that this is commonplace?
Oh, all the time, mate. It's the festive season. Even kangaroos, mate. They need to party it up just like everyone else down under, mate. So they'll be themselves at the beach. They'll be kicking back. They might even have like a mankini on, a banana hammock on the beach. You just never know. You're lucky in the big city. They'll get their couches out and they're having a good time. Yeah.
Well, you heard it here first, mankini.
Why not? Kangaroos with banana hammocks. Yeah. Why not? Why not? It's late.
The old mankini, eh?
Love you, hello. Have a great Chrissy, bro.
Star Sign 1972. Question for Hoinsey. Says, I'm at a point where I'm running out of gear for circuit boards and bronzium for the salvage. How do you balance? That's a great question. How do you balance farming for gear for characters and relic slicing materials? Thank you.
Yeah. The scavenger has done a really, really great job of draining everyone's gear levels.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
You're not alone. I was struggling with Starkiller. Actually, I unlocked Starkiller yesterday, and I could only get it to gear 10 with the gear that I had in it because I'd been doing way too much slicing with relics. So I feel your pain. Yeah, look, there is a really cool thing in Hot Utils, which actually we found out from Fatal last night. There's actually a section in Hot Utils, if you have access to it, that down the bottom, which actually has a gear list. So if there's a particular character that you're going after, it has the full gear list there and what you need for it, so that you can start saving up what you need, so that when you get the character, you can just take it all the way up. highly recommend checking that out if you got hot utils. I actually didn't even know it existed until he told me last
Did
night,
he?
and it was really really cool. So yeah,
Does he
get on.
work on hot utils? I mean, what is his? He's
Adol's
talking.
been doing some. He's been doing some templates for modding, which is really really cool. He actually he used me as a guinea pig actually this round to see how it worked. This round of 3, but he will be next week. I think he'll be releasing a public template for anyone with hot utils. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's really, really funky. It works great.
Yeah.
Within I think 5 minutes, all your mods are moved around and completely optimized to your level and your roster and your characters automatically. It's pretty freaking amazing.
Yeah, he's a monster. That guy, like,
Yeah.
he tests the hell out of stuff when it comes into the game. So if you ever want to see stuff being tested on, Playbook's one to watch. So he gets in there and tries all the different stuff out there to see what's working and stuff and figure it out. So yeah, you should check out the Playbook. Good dude, really knows his shit. So there you go.
Part of the movie, that's not hard.
Yeah.
Just saying. Yeah.
All right, so we got the. But when it comes to circuit boards and stuff, man, I mean, I kind of balance it out. When I'm not, when you're working at GL, it's hard when you're doing tickets. But when I'm not, some of my energy goes toward. I think it's 1C, 1B, 1D. What those beginning nodes? There's a lot of stuff that drops that I use for, especially those circuit boards and stuff like that. So yeah. It's tough.
You're not alone, and this is the thing. There's no silver bullet for it. I mean, the silver bullet is of course weekly shipments, but that's spending crystals, and I don't condone anyone to do that. I'm just saying that they want you to drain your resources, so you need to look for other available options to get these relic materials that are hard to get. So that's their design. They've done it very well. I'm someone that got caught out like many others out there. So it's really, really hard to juggle. But yeah, think ahead, plan ahead on the gear that you need for characters coming up so that you are ready for it. And then whatever's left, then put that into slicing.
Yeah. Great. All right. Let's see here. Next question. Snoochie Boochies. Oh, here we go. It says, question. I'm facing a Jedi Master Luke, Jedi Knight Luke, Jedi Knight Revan, Hoda, Wonk, Comp, and GAC. If I mirror it, can I win if I'm outsped by everyone except JML? If not, have any suggestions for who I could swap in the team? Crazy thing that I used to do back in the day. I used to run Jedi Master Luke with Han Solo to shoot Watt, thus negating them from
and then stops them buffing themselves up so you can stop them quickly. Yeah.
That's the only thing other than another GL that you'll have some success with. But yeah, back when the Jedi Master Luke meta was going on, I would bring in Han as my 5th. Now, just kind of kills your CLS team, but desperate times, desperate measures. I mean, the only thing is if you're outsped, if Watt goes and puts that tank tech on, it makes life really miserable. You go in there with your Jedi Revan, burn him down, but yeah, it could be pretty ugly. So I used to go in there with Han. I'm trying to think of if you don't have anything else, if you have to do a mirror match, that's the best way to overcome that. I know it kind of breaks up your CLS team a little bit, but you could always go with someone else with that team instead of Han, and still have some success. Because CLS can still do some good stuff against some other teams. But that's the only thing I can think of. Heinzie, any thoughts? And we got the Nev.
Hey, how are you, brother? The only obvious one, of course, which if you got Sith Eternal, that'll wreck it, but that's really designed for that. It's anti-Jedi. So that's certainly the way to go if you've got it. If you don't have it, Han's really the only option, but cover your butts. It's not going to be a fun ride.
It's not. I just hated that meta back in the day because I just got so sick of it. You can win because if you go in there with Jedi Knight Revan, then you burn Watt, then you just start. It's just a long slog of a fight.
It's just really, really.
But I was using like Jedi Master Luke with Gas, Revan, those kind of characters. It was Squad Arena, so it's a little bit different when you're in GAC. But Han will definitely help because he's going to stun, and then you go in there with you're going to have to use Jedi Revan. You stun Watt, and then hopefully get him near death, and then if you have Jedi Knight Revan on that team, you can mark him, burn him out, and then it's 4 and 5, and they didn't get the buff, and then you can do some nice stuff with that at that point. Makes it a little bit easier, more manageable. Oh, Nev, how are you this morning, sir? Sorry, I have to crack.
I'm good.
Crack. I was up late with the Heinz.
What was the Yeah, I know you were up. You were co-hosting with Heinz, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
You'd had some real life stuff, didn't he? So you stepped in for him.
Yeah, he caught up with family first. He caught up with family last night. He was in Seattle. So no, very, very happy for him to go and do that. So no, we had fun last night.
Yes, we did.
Did you drink?
Of
did
course
you drink
we did.
copious quantities of alcohol?
Oh, of course.
Yes. Answer to that is obvious. Yes.
I've only had a few hours sleep.
Speaking of alcohol.
Yes, sir.
Yes. I am 100. I am very, very well aware of what I must do.
Alcohol, how's the cricket looking, Nev? It's looking pretty good for me. I'm just saying. I like what I see. It's
yeah, I know you're liking what you see, aren't you?
Mate, I could not like it anymore. I'm just saying.
That first test was pretty much a blowout. I was just thankful that we put you into bat for a second innings. I was just, granted you only needed to score, what was it, 41 for the win.
40 runs.
The mere fact that you had to bat for a second innings was, it stopped it from being a thrashing.
It did. It's pretty.
It
rough.
literally, it stopped it from being a thrashing and you winning by a full innings. So yeah.
It was actually quite funny. If I can quickly, we'll come back to sorry, Rangy, if I can jump in for a minute. But I spoke to Nev, the poor guy, on day one of the test when it was it like we got like 4 or 5 wickets or something, 4 or 5 people out of 10 in the space of
3 for 11.
3, so 3 people out for next 11 runs, which really is
11 runs,
right? It's bugger all. And I sent him the screenshot to Nev, and he's gone, "This is a joke, isn't it?" I said, "No, mate, it's no joke." And the answer came back. That was it. He sent me. So yeah, I felt bad for him, but I kind of don't.
You didn't feel bad at all. Get out of here, Heinz. You're lying.
Way around. Don't you worry about that. So
don't you worry. Don't you worry.
It's pretty rough right now, and I'm loving it. Not gonna lie.
Well, these things happen. It's that time of year. Let's see here. Next question.
My opponent's attacking at last.
Yeah, mine did last night, but I have a suspicion that what they use. We'll have an interesting GSC after this. All right, Janet Baker says, question, does kangaroo taste like chicken? Everything else does.
No, it tastes like venison.
Would make sense, wilder animal, yeah.
Gamey flavor. It's like venison. I've had it, and it's very. You've got to cook it super rare. If you cook it too much, it's chewy. Very much like venison. So yeah,
that makes sense. Oh no! Oh God! Oh Jesus! Never...
Oh
yes!
No!
Big deal, baby! Big deal, baby!
God!
Here he is.
What's up? What's up?
I'm too hungover for this early in the morning. I really am.
Heidi ho, neighbor.
Oh God.
How you doing?
Oh.
How you doing?
I was hoping we were gonna get the taco hat, bro. You're letting me down.
He's driving, so he's got to wear the Stetson.
I almost have my cowboy hat folded up like a taco. Will that work for today?
You asked for it. You got it. I'm just Heinz Nev. Go ahead. There you go. Here he is. I have been putting up with this man my entire career in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. How are you, Grande? How's everything going? People ask me all the time how you're doing. I'm like, he's like, you talk to Grande? I'm like, yeah, once in a while. He's just busy with real life, man. What do you want me to say?
It is. I am slammed right now, man. Just it's a busy time of the year, Busy time for work, busy time for family.
Yeah.
And we're just,
deep in the heart of Texas.
Whoop whoop. That's right.
Oh, we're already getting. Does Grande have a word, a wisdom word of the day already? God, that's the first thing that pops up.
I do.
Oh God.
I do have a word of wisdom. Are you ready?
No, but okay.
Well, so I'm gonna say it because I said it I said it last night in RSG General Chat, so I'm going to say it again. So,
I skipped that for a reason.
Ranger,
Yes,
Ranger,
sir.
do
Yes,
you
sir.
know? Do you know what the difference is between Dubai and Abu Dhabi?
I do, but I have a bad feeling that I probably don't the way you're expressing it.
So, in Dubai, they do not like the Flintstones, but Abu Dhabi do.
Yep.
Speaking of the Middle East,
Oh God.
Ranger,
Yes.
do
Yes.
you know the difference between Iran and Iraq?
Yes, but I'm sure you have a different explanation, please.
So, in Iran, they are deathly afraid of spiders. Iraq, no phobia.
Well,
0 week, guys. Try the meal. Dun, 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 dun.
just yeah.
Hey, Ranger.
No. Oh
Hey,
God.
Ranger.
Yes.
Hey, Ranger, what do you call a cow with a twitch?
What, Grande?
Beef jerky.
You guys wanted it. You guys, I warned you all. I said if he comes back, this is what you can expect. Now the question I have, Grande, since we have Heinze here, because last time I was on with you with Heinze a while back, you didn't know Dragon Ball Z characters, and you called Kakarot, which is Goku, cock carrot, and then Vegeta, you called him Veggie Ito. So have you had a chance to learn your names yet?
Not really. My kids
yeah.
know the name, but
Outside,
you know, it's my three favorite Dragon Ball Z
I
characters
know.
are Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
I'm gonna kill you. That is wrong. You're a very bad man.
Okay.
Oh, I gotta tell you, Grande. You know what's opening up next to me here soon? And I'm over the moon. Whataburger.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah, man. Finally, Whataburger has come to Alabama. I don't have to wait till when I visit Texas to get me a Whataburger.
And they need like a Whataburger like in Australia for Heinz.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Dude, it's
I'm
delicious.
down.
I
I'm
like
down.
me some
Five Guys
Whataburger.
is better.
Well, this is the thing. Funny you
Well,
mention that.
They're different. They're both really good in my opinion. I love Five Guys too. Don't get me wrong, Nev. I think they're awesome. But Whataburger's just a different way of how they make their burger. And it's just that,
We have just, as in like a few weeks ago, we have only just got Five Guys down here in Australia a couple of weeks ago.
Man, Five Guys is really good. They're the way they make their fries hand cut every day, and and they're so proud of them. They put the sacks of potatoes in the line where you go through?
mhm.
I haven't
Like they do?
because it's actually it's in Australia, but it's in a different state to me. So
Okay.
it's actually near a really good friend of ours, Lego.
Yeah.
Lego.
Heinze, don't listen to what he said. They're actually chips. They call them fries, but to you and me, no, they're proper. They're thick. They're proper thick.
Yeah.
They are chips. They are proper
Yeah.
chips. They're not thin, spindly, nothing on them fries. They're actually
they're
thick
really-
cut
and they're
chips.
really
They're
good.
really, really nice. They
Yeah.
just
They
call
put-
everything
they use,
cut
sea
like that
salt.
fries.
They use like a really awesome salt on them too, and they serve them with vinegar and like and then like it's epic, dude. It's really good how they do their stuff.
You're killing
You
me.
get two burger patties in one of their burgers. So what you do is you ask them to put all the sides in like a container, and then you ask for an extra bun. And then when you get home, you make yourself two burgers for the price of one.
That's true. And I will tell you, their idea of a small fry is like a large fry everywhere else.
It's the
Like,
biggest.
like-
It's the
like
biggest
it's like-
sack of chips.
I made the mistake one time. I'm like, oh yeah, we got like 4 people. We need 2 large fries.
Mm.
And it was like the first time I'd ever been there, and I was like, there's no way we can eat this. This is like 7 potatoes.
Big
There's no
taters.
way. Yeah.
So what's new with you,
Good.
Grande, Pappy Patron?
I am. I'm just working, man. I'm driving. I'm going to meet a trim carpenter right now.
Oh, that's what she said.
He said he needed some 2x4s. So I brought some 2x4s.
I bet she did.
Grande, does the carpet match the curtains?
Sir, what was that?
Does the carpet match the curtains?
Yes, the carpet does match the curtains. Absolutely.
Just checking. Asking for a friend.
These are good scientific questions. Now, the other thing you need to address, Grande, people are like, is Grande ever coming back to the game or is involved in the game? I'm like, no.
I know everything I know about the game. I get through osmosis by talking to my friends. That's how I know.
And?
No. So am I coming back?
Yeah.
I don't have time.
Yeah.
I drive too much. I mean, right now, my idea of multitasking is talking on the phone while I'm driving. There's just so much drive time. It would be dangerous for me to play the game. I'd get in a car wreck.
Yeah, see, we have to have good safety on the highway. So there you go. So
right.
I'm just seeing if there's Tila Mad's question for Grande. Have you ran into any chickens lately?
Yes. So
Nathan H wants to know that too.
We build houses out in the country. So there is all kinds of livestock. I had to wrangle 2 goats because 2 goats got out of the goat field, and I had to wrangle them back into the goat field so that they wouldn't get out because we were working on the house. Them goats, let me tell you, them goats will get out of fences that they shouldn't get out of. And, one of them goats had horns and the other one didn't have horns, and one of them was nice and sweet, and the other one was a freaking pain in the rear. One of them was mean and nasty. And, so yeah. I had to take off my belt. To make a lasso. So then we had other problems because my pants were almost falling down.
Well,
so I got a goat by the neck with my belt, and my pants are falling down. It was very compromising situation. It looked like I was doing something else.
I'm sure it was.
I'm like, no, really? I'm trying to get this goat inside the fence, and everybody's like,
yeah,
sure you are,
yeah.
Grande. And I'm like, it's not what it looks like, guys. It's not what it looks like.
Well, speaking of ridiculous Grande things, Star Science says, question for Grande, how's all the homeless people doing? Are you handing out baseball tokens still for Christmas?
I deal, I'm mostly in the country, and let me just tell you, there's not a lot of homeless people in the country. There's not a lot of homeless people in little cities, but whenever I do get back to the big city and I see a homeless person, I do hand out baseball tokens. I will also tell you that one of my customers, they gave me a whole stack of wooden nickels, and the wooden nickels. So it's called the Biddy Ranch. It's called the Biddy Ranch, and on the back it says "good for one night." So now I hand out wooden nickels too. They can go to the Biddy Ranch. It's good for one night. Hey man, don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
I don't know if that would be considered either a gift or a horse. I don't know what that is, Grande. It's just awful. It's just awful.
I tell them when I tell them there, I'm like, hey, don't spend it all in one place.
I don't think they'll have that problem. Yeah.
I am going to tell you though, for real, right? So, my family's not really big on giving gifts for Christmas because, I'm kind of a big deal.
Oh,
and
God.
So instead, I will tell you, we donate to charity, right? So
sure.
we do soup kitchen, and there is really a lack of charities for males that are homeless in the city of Houston. And so my wife and I found a charity. There's only 7 men's homeless shelters in the entire country of the United States. There are only 7 male-only homeless shelters. So my family and I wrote a sizable charitable donation to the men's homeless shelter in Houston.
All right. So that's what we do.
So as much as I joke around and give homeless people baseball tokens, just so everybody doesn't think that that's the only thing. I say it because it's funny, but behind
you're
the
a
scenes,
big deal with a kind of.
I'm making up for the baseball tokens.
I hope so.
Put it that
Yes.
way. I make up for it in my own way.
Just remember, Grande, when you're out there doing that nonsense, just think, what would the little baby Jesus do? And I just want you to remember that.
Well, if you can't make somebody laugh, if you make them laugh, it'll bring them out of whatever kind of bad spot they're in for just a minute, right? That's the whole reason for laughs, is to, know that the whole world is not doom and gloom.
Yeah, boy. All
And,
right.
and sometimes, arachnophobia.
Get the hell out of
That's all
here.
I'm saying.
All right. Ray Rock says, have you been to the ethnic store recently?
Oh, the ethnic grocery stores.
Oh,
I love
boy.
those ethnic grocery stores.
Oh, God. They're just
around here,
grocery
I'm telling
stores, man.
I'm telling you, they got the British store and the Indian, and they got the British grocery store. They got the Indian grocery store. My wife loves going to those. She's like, look at the great tea I found, and look at this awesome new rice I found. And then we go to the Korean one, and my kids are always like, they eat what? Look at what's in the deli. And I'm like, I'm sure it's really good. If I knew how to cook that, we'd buy some.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Grande, stay tuned. I'm sure we'll get some more Grande questions here. But there's some questions for the other panelists, if you don't mind, Grande. I know you're a big deal.
Absolutely. Go for it. Yep.
What else are you three? Question. For about 4 minutes there, I lost track. Where's Mike when we need an Aussie to English translator? Well, he's not available right now. Michael W. Huntington III from Game Service is not available. Nathan H. question: has Heinze learned any dance moves from Gom on DJ Twerk?
Gom actually gave me pointers on how to destroy a camera.
That was unbelievable. That was one that was a 1 million shot, kid. Oh,
that was hilarious. My dance moves are ridiculous. They're not great. Those boys,
yeah.
They put me to shame. I'm happy to admit it. But no, as long as they keep the cool moves coming, everyone's a winner, guys. But no, mine are terrible.
Yeah. All right. Legit question. Our first one that's not Grande or dance move related. From Jaeger Sharp. Says question for Ranger. I only caught this, Jaeger, because I was looking. Make sure you put the actual word question next time, my friend. It's not a big deal. Just that's how I scoop up questions. But Jaeger says, how did CG let the GSC scoring oversight happen with a full month off to work on GSC changes? Players using this will not see repercussions. Players going against see no compensation. What am I missing here?
Mistakes get made.
No. Are they talking about how not awarding the banners if you don't clear the zone if they haven't set them in? I think that's what they're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm. That is it.
Yeah, so I don't know how this happened, Jaeger. I just want to make sure I was reading that question right. Listen, as the infamous beta tester, this was more something they did with algorithms and stuff. It really wasn't. We weren't too. I mean, we couldn't be. I mean, there's no way you can do GAC testing, right? In a sense of like, that kind of thing. So they even said that in their posts. It's a way it's like I can use these words. Is that they kind of discussed this of how they went about when they did the Q&A, right? So I'm sure it's an oversight. I don't know how they compensate or fix. It needs to be addressed immediately, but I don't know. I mean, but anytime you launch something, maybe it just stuff slips through the cracks. I mean, I've launched all kinds of stuff with software and stuff for other companies before, promotional things, all kinds of stuff. And there's always, Murphy's Law comes into play. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong, and then you just have to, take your comeuppance, fix it, and then, then that's all there is to it. I don't know how that one slipped through the cracks, guys, but kind of a big deal there.
No.
Not Grande, big deal. But
anybody foolish enough to risk it is a brave person, a very, very brave person. Because if you just put one, if you put one squad down on a 4-squad area, and the person takes that one squad out, they're getting 69 for the other 3. Okay, so it's a big risk. It's a big risk. Just putting one squad down, hoping that your opponent cannot take it out. It is a huge risk, not something it's not a risk anyone I know is going to take in GAC.
It really isn't. You've got a GL and your opponent doesn't, though.
Yeah.
If your opponent, that's the one exception to the rule that I mentioned last night. If somebody, the hypothetical that I gave was if it's someone with 6 GLs, facing someone with 3 or 4, they could just put 2 GLs in each of the 3 territories and nothing else. But it's still a risk because then their opponent has their entire roster to just hit GLs, and they don't have to worry about a gas as well, or a CLS as well, or a GG, or they don't have to worry about anything except for GLs. That's why I say it's still a risk. But yes, Heinzie, 100% right. If you're sat on a C and your opponent has no GL, all you'd have to do is put that C in the front with nothing else. Your opponent's probably gonna not get past it.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's for some reason, again, guys, we don't know. As Ranger said, I mean, we don't know how it works. But look, it's just a simple oversight. I mean, it just, as soon as the zone opens, it just needs to award the points, not wait until the zone's cleared. It's not rocket science. They'll make the tweaks, adjustments, they'll fix it, and we move on for the next round next week. I mean, I can see that that's quite a simple fix. It's just not awarding it at the right time. It's still awarding it, just not at the right time.
Just not the right. It should be doing it before, like you said, Heinzie, not after you clear the territory. But
as soon as you go into as soon as it starts, bam, points.
Yep. You get the points straight off the bat, off the rip, and that way it doesn't matter what you do in that zone or not. You're getting points for the non-set. And it's not science. And it just for some reason it's spatted out that way by mistake. I reckon. I don't know why, but it just did.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of Grande cheers. Gappy's like, says, we love Grande. Yes, we do. We love Grande. How about you? Says, go Grande. Yay. There we go. I think those are baseball tokens.
I love Grande. I love Grande as well. And
I'm sure you do.
Each and every one of you is also kind of a big deal because
oh God,
you know a guy that's kind of a big deal. Just saying.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I feel honored. The big deal.
I know, Heinzie.
Padme.
It takes one to know one. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, God.
You know.
I'll tell you what. I think we all agree that that Grande does love Grande probably too much repetitively.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no problem. I have no problem with my large ego.
I
agree.
Let's give it a good stroke.
All right, let's move on from this quickly. Darsign 1972 question, a follow-up. While I completely understand that mistakes happen with GSC, but then why wouldn't CG wait to move crystals until a full week of GSC to make sure it works right? They probably thought it worked right. There was no problems, and then they didn't catch this. I don't know the definitive answer, so why didn't they wait for the crystals? Well, I don't think I would want to wait. I don't know. They could have handled it differently, but I don't think that this was going to be an issue. So
the lack of bugs. I mean, we saw when they reworked Territory Wars how many issues there were with that. I was pleasantly surprised with how few issues there were with this. There was that one, there was that exploit. There's the other one, which is if you go into attack and you take out 4, but you pull out, you withdraw, you get 4 banners for taking out those 4 characters before they're going back in. Not that that's in any way, shape, or form an advantage because you're going to get less banners for a second hit anyway. But it's still weird that you would get the 4 banners, pull out, and then go back in, and it's a full team of 5 again. So you would then again get 1 banner for each of the So if that's it, if you can count on less than 1 hand, how many issues there are with it, I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
I think we should all be happy.
When it comes to the crystals as well, as you mentioned, I honestly think we waited long enough to get the crystals out there. I think they wanted to get them out as quick as possible.
Yeah, people getting that compensation.
When we were getting the 240 crystals for 3 or 4 days there was a lot of people that were pretty unhappy about that. And I think as soon as the crystals started dropping in GAC, I know that a lot of people were a lot happier about it. So for the sake of a couple of little problems, like anything, guys, they know about it, and then they just need to fix it straight away. And
trust me, man. People, whether it's testers, you guys, the community forums, they get bombarded with, like, as soon as any kind of bug happens, they know about it. I mean, you guys send me stuff, say, hey, have you seen this? Like, brother, I know about it because the 900 people beat me to the punch already by the time I'm even sniffing an issue. So we'll see what they do. And if they need to, I think they need to compensate people for this. It is a kind of a big deal. Again, not grande big deal, but it is still a big deal. What else in the 3 question? After seeing all the Omicrons, what do you see as the top 3 most valuable, even if they're on one character? Boy, this is so subjective. It depends on what you value. First off, TW or GAC. Starting off right there with that. I don't know.
Mara Jade is up there. Mara
Jade's definitely up there.
Right?
Yeah.
Qui-Gon at the moment.
Until we see what they neuter him with. Yeah.
And I'd say probably the third one. I still really like Sam's one.
Yeah, you got to kind of compartmentalize this because you got to take away what Dad Bod Boba Fett's going to be doing and Starkiller. Those are 2. They each have 3, and they're separate entities, for what they do. But
and we haven't seen Starkiller yet either. Once he kicks in GAC next week, so it's tough. But
I'm telling you, folks, look out.
Yeah, if we're talking right this moment, Mara Jade, you'd be silly if you didn't slap it on. You're not going to be disappointed if you love your territory war. If your guild's half into it even, chuck it on. You're not going to be disappointed. It does some work.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, Omicron. I mean, other than a GL, like, she neuters gas because his ass sits down immediately, and then you just burn, and then you get turn meter, and then she's just... The thing is gross, man. I'm telling you, that is the sickest Omicron in TW, in my opinion. That thing is absolutely bonkers. I think Sam's is really good. Rose's one's okay. I mean, it just depends on, I mean, the hair one, I mean, it's not bad for TW. I mean, the Phoenix team is more legit in TW now, but, you're not going to see too many of those teams with Omicrons unless it's higher end and someone was just feeling frothy. It's hard to put. Everyone's got a different opinion on them. Some people really like Zam's Omicron. A lot. Some, like I said, Mara Jade's. Some like Darth Talon's because of what it does for not just the Sith Triumpher, but you can put her with Darth Revan and get that speed and stuff, and bonuses for protecting the Lita. Protect the Lita. So I don't know. Okay, let's see here. And then what else in 3 says, hey, Grande, good to see you. We miss you, man. So there's another Grande.
I miss you too, buddy.
Grande's probably sitting there going, who's What Else 73?
What else? I know what else 73 is.
I know. Let's go with that.
Dang. Come on, man.
Oh, God. God, it's just more Grande stuff here. Yuta, question
Come on, man.
All right, calm down, buddy. Take your pills. All right, Yuta says, question for Grande. When is the first episode of the Big Deal Grande Adventures podcast coming out?
Man, yeah, we need to do that, dude.
No, we really don't know.
My whole life, and everybody would be like, what the what? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Darstein 1972 question: does anyone know when all the events are back in December for 2 days? I'm licking my chops for those goodies. When does that start? Did they give a specific date on that? I know it was in the forums. I just don't remember when.
It came out in the data mines as well, didn't it? I'm pretty sure.
It's going to be here pretty soon. Probably next week it kicks off, I think, right? Because they're getting into the holiday season, yeah.
Give me a second, I'll look it up.
Sure.
Give me 1 second.
All right. We'll have our researcher, our crack team researcher, Heinze, on this. Should take about no less than 40 minutes. Darsign 1972 question for Grande. He just wants to say, thank you for joining today. I had an absolutely crappy week with my 17-year-old nephew having 3 surgeries to remove a tumor around his eye and skull. Jesus. And you made me smile and made my week. Well, God.
There it is!
I'm glad you're smiling, man, but what the hell's going on with your nephew, man? What's more important? Is he okay? Jesus. Just throw that out there on us, Darsign. God dang, man. I hope he's okay, man.
Yeah,
That's
man.
what I really care about.
We want everybody to be okay.
Yeah. We don't care about Grande, but the rest of us, we care about you. Yeah. Out there chasing chickens, trying to rape goats, apparently with his pants falling down, with using his belt as a lasso, giving...
I was trying to put him in the fence, man. I was trying to put him inside the field.
I believe you, Grande. Wink, winky.
I did not want him to get run over on the road. That was my concern.
Well, Grande, I mean, it's your image, buddy. If you want people to think, hey, what's this strange man in the middle of the day with his belt off trying to do this goat with his pants falling down? a bold play,
If I had-
Cotton.
If I had a rope closer, we would have used a rope.
Yeah, what kind
I
of
was
What kind of Texican are you not having a rope? You got to have a rope and a shotgun with you at all times, buddy.
I had some string, but no rope. It was not a good day for animal husbandry.
Some things cannot be unsaid or unseen. That's all I'm going to say.
Just have a look, Ranger. We've got a crazy amount of festive relic bundles coming. Lots of bundles starting the 21.
Okay,
onwards.
so that'll be
Daily
the
holiday
Tuesday.
kits.
Yeah.
There's going to be daily holiday packs in the store. There's going to be a heap of stuff kicking in. Shards for characters. Let's see, heaps of energy, normal energy. You're going to get Maul's relic hordes going to pop up as well.
Sure.
Omicron material bundles, of course, will be there too. We talked about that one. That's gross. Daily holiday kit 5 is going to have Gideon Royal Guard paired in it. So if you're going after Lord Vader, there's some nice fun stuff in there for you. There's another pack in there. So yeah, there's plenty of packs. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
And the events, they do the event where it's like, you start getting like all the mythic and, challenge, all those stuff just start popping, all over the place. You just get all this.
Yeah, from well, I mean, technically Christmas isn't a holiday in Star Wars, right? Apparently, we've heard this before.
Yeah, it's light day.
No such thing. But yeah, we tend to get a lot of holiday packs though. So it goes right through
It's the
until
holiday season.
Yeah, goes through till New Year's Eve.
Not everybody celebrates the Christmas. Let's see here. What else we got? Questions. Nathan says, question for Grande. What games are you playing these days?
Well, me and my wife play hide the pickle.
God damn it. I hope when you get home, Grande, your wife just slaps you in the face, man. Seriously.
I tell you, that's what we play.
I didn't say anything about your wife. This is what games does Grande play, not Grande and wife.
I play hide the pickle. That's what I play.
Took a semi-serious question there and just turned it into pickle taunting. Good job, Grande.
It's kind of a big deal.
All right, get out of here. What else? Aaron 3 says apparently he was also playing Where's the Pickle with that goat?
Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm going to tell you. Oh, man. I fell right into that one.
Yeah.
Touche.
Well done, Wilson. Well done. Well done, Lottie. Well done indeed. Let me see if there's any other questions here. God, there's a lot of Grande stuff. Good Lord. This is what happens, folks. Grande pops in and it's basically game over. Everyone's like, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Who wants to answer shit about that? Let's talk about Grande.
Doesn't happen often.
Oh, yeah, Grande. Finn's getting married today, man. He's hitching the post, man.
I told him I wished him good luck for today, last night. So.
Yeah, I've got the stuff. I'll be supported by watching, and because that's all I can do. I can't get down there, so that's all I can do. But it's play my little part, being a good friend.
There we go.
Even though he's a Twinkie eater. But yes, the old Finn is becoming a man today. He's becoming a man. Darstein 1972 says, question, Grande, please send me your phone number. Fias, now when I have nightmares at 3 a.m. for hiding your pickle, I can call you and say thank you. Well, I mean...
867-5309.
Jenny, who can I turn to? Nathan H. says, on the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 5 golden packs.
Yeah, it's exactly that.
Yeah, and then on the first day, it's... On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me Grande hiding the pickle in the tree. All right.
I'm telling you, man, that tree has some nice tatas. That's all I'm going to say.
Just gross.
It does.
You're gross. Stop it. I want to see Grande on the job. No.
Oh,
I
come on.
don't want to hear about that. Jesus. I think the good thing is I got all this live, so one day I'm just gonna cut all the stupid things Grande says about him and his wife chasing the pickle and all this other stuff. I'm gonna show up at his door and I'm just gonna play it for her, and I'm just gonna watch.
You know what she would say?
No,
You know
I'm
what-
just
you know
gonna
what
watch
she would
her
say? That's
beat
about
your
right.
ass, and
That's
I'm going to
about right.
record that as a day of that will live in infamy.
She'd laugh. She'd look at me and give me a look. You know, she cracks almost as many jokes as I do.
I don't think
That's
that.
how we-
I think she's a
That is how
very.
we've been married.
Your
for 20
wife's a
years.
very beautiful, intelligent, smart, articulate woman
She
that
is
would not
way-
put up with the poo-poo jokes that you do.
I am telling you, I totally married up.
All that
I
goes
told-
without saying, Grande.
I married a woman that is smarter and better looking than me. I had to, man. I would think of the children. I knew I was going to breed, and I had to. We had to dilute
God
the
damn
dumbass
it.
gene pool a little bit. I was like, man, we need to give my kids the best chance ever. We got to marry someone that's smart and good looking. This is going to be a problem. So yes, all their good traits come from my wife.
Well, thank you for joining
Without
us
a doubt.
on Genealogy with Grande Patron. Tune in next week when we really go in depth about the pickle. So, God, well, this has gone to hell. I don't know. Oh, Jesus.
Hey, Ranger,
Oh God. Oh yeah, yes, Grande.
did I tell you that I went to the Summer Olympics? I was walking around. It was track and field, and I was walking around and I saw a guy and I was like, oh, hey, look, that's so awesome. You're a pole vaulter. And he said, no, I'm German. But how did you know my name was Vaulter?
Oh. Dun, 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 dun.
Which of my two esteemed panelists would like to begin the beating of Grande first? I will give first SWAT to whoever would like to take it at this moment.
I'm allergic to beating up big deals, so I can't help with that one.
Oh, I'm not. I am definitely not. I have no problem cracking the knuckles, especially when you're dealing with Grande. It's like Grande's like a little kid, and you just have to. You have to treat him as such. Like you can't give him a lot of candy or sugar. You can't get him wet after midnight because bad things will happen, right?
Gremlin. He's a gremlin.
He really is. So yeah. And it's just basically that's all we're doing now. We're just hanging out with Grande. God dang it. Dark Sign says Grande's family tree is the only one that is dying. LOL.
I'm going to tell you, my kids are super intelligent.
Yes, they are.
Super good looking. Thanks to my wife.
Hey, I'm gonna wind up if that's okay, guys.
Yeah, get out of here, Heinz. I know it's super late for you. Get out of here, buddy.
Guys,
And yeah.
take care, mate. Good luck in the cricket.
All right, man.
That's funny. And I'll catch up with you, Grande. The biggest f***ing deal on the planet. We love you, brother. Have a great
All
holiday.
right, man.
Take care.
That's a legend. That's a legend Heinzie right there, guys.
Love you guys.
Galactic legend to you, sir.
Have a great holiday. Everyone
All right.
stay safe. All right?
Take
Thanks,
care.
Ranger. Bye, guys.
All right. Dark Sign question. I don't know if Nev is lowering his praying or running through all the scenarios of how to kill Grande and make it look like an accident. I don't know, Nev. He's over there planning evil machinations. I don't blame him.
No. I'm just looking down at my phone.
That's looking down at his phone or
Phone.
evil machinations. Gappy says, I love Grande's festive spirit. Pickles, trees with nice tatas. It's just like how baby Jesus would have wanted it. That's true, Gappy. All right. This is what you've turned the damn chat in, Grande. Tatas and pickles for the holiday season.
What can I say? They go together.
No, they don't. You're a bad man.
They go together.
God damn it. All I'm doing is just reading Grande shit now. It's not even Jedi Academy died 20 minutes. I'm sorry, Nev. You came on at the wrong time, buddy. I mean, we were doing well. We were answering good questions, having a little fun, and then Grande came here and just
Derailed.
blew it to hell. He came in there with that 4x4 and just ran over us. Goddamn dad jokes. Oh, so bad.
Oh man.
And that wasn't even a word of wisdom. That was just a joke, Grande.
It was. It was.
That's not words of wisdom.
When you're off the cuff and you're asking for something, I got to deliver, man. And so I delivered with what I had on the top of my head.
Don't quit your day job, buddy. All right.
I will not quit my day job. Man, they love me too much in my day job.
I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, like every 3 to 6 months, they're like, "Hey, you do really good. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go." Oh man.
Oh God. Darsign question for Nev. If I have 6 GLs and they have 4 or 5 GLs, what's a good solid balance for offense and defense?
Scout your opponent first, find out what their weaknesses are, and find out if how many GLs they put on defense. You got to know that first.
Yeah.
And then you can make a decision as to whether or not you can play a full clear strategy, or if you're going to play a 2 territory strategy. If you're gonna...
Yeah.
There's so many variables now. You can't just go right. Well, I'm gonna set these 2 on defense and I'm gonna keep these 2 for off. You just can't do that. You need to know by looking at your opponent's history what they normally do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm in that exact scenario at the moment, Darsign. I have 5, they have 6. So I looked at their history, saw the 3 that they usually like to put 3 down. I'm only seeing 2 at the moment. They could be trying to sneak one in the old back door. Their Nev. So I came up with a strategy. I have 5, but I did 2. You'll see when we look at my defense. The kind of strat that we went for. But we definitely looked at that when we were setting our defense and coming up with our strategy, and I think it's going to play out well. It's going to be a close match, so and I'm kind of proud of that. Even if I don't win, I think we're going to make it we gave this guy a hell of a run for his defense. So I think he one-shot everything, but not as efficient as he could have been. We'll see how it all plays out. But yeah, I kind of look at, I think that's a really good observation there, Nev, about, really understand how your opponent likes to play. Are they more efficient? Because people you kind of get a trend, but sometimes they can throw you off. We see it more, Nev, as content creators, right? Because people see that if they know who we are, they'll go completely 180 on us, sometimes, and completely buck that. But for the most part, people are kind of creatures of habit, right? And especially if they're not as invested in GAC.
Yeah. And if you do scout your opponent and you see that they're a regular DNSer or that they're a regular auto deployer, then just put a not a weak defense down, put a standard defense down that doesn't include any of your GLs. Because if they're a DNSer or an auto deployer, you're probably going to need all your GLs if you want to get a full clear and get get some decent skill rating points.
Yep.
Because I know people that have Paul had that in his first round. He has 3 GLs and he went up against someone with 6 GLs, but they were an auto deployer. So they kept their 3 GLs so they could at least clear a couple of territories and, get some decent skill rating points. So if you look at your opponent's history on SWGOH.gg and you see that that's what they do, then, it makes your life easier. Not that you probably don't need to waste your GLs on defense because they ain't going to show up to the party. And you can use your GLs to, practice some clearing of, auto deploys.
All right. Darsign 1972 question. With GSC now changed, I found none of my opponents so far have gone by their history. That's why I'm asking if it seems the history right now is not reliable. Same thing guild-wide. I mean, you can play a little bit more cautious in these first rounds, Darsign. Put 2 GLs down, keep 3. Because you still want to put somewhat of a defense on there, right? But you're hoping that if he wants to go harder with this, let's say he puts 4 down, well, he only gives him 2. If he screws up any of your GLs, right? If he guesses wrong, because it's still a little bit of a guessing game, right? For which ones you put down, it could really hose him. So that's kind of my strat with this one, Darsign, is just, put 2 down, keep 3.
And don't forget to check DSR bot, and don't forget to check check their history. That not on SWGOH. Look at their stats and check out DSR bot. Do you have better mods than them?
Yeah.
How many defensive holds have they had? How many rounds have they won? I mean, my previous opponent, I've got like hundreds and hundreds of round wins, and my opponent showed low double digits. So I instantly, it's like, okay, so they set a defense, or they don't even bother setting a defense, and then they just never attack. And my opponent never attacked. And I could tell that I was competing against somebody that is a DNS competitor, because they had like 12 rounds won throughout the entire history of GAC. Yeah. So, it's not just a case of scouting what they do on SWGOH.gg. It's also, looking at what mods they have and what characters they have, what the speeds are, because that'll also help you put down your squads. I mean, if you've got an all gear 12 team that's really, really fast, you can put that down on defense, knowing, well, even if my guy does have a relic team that they can throw against it's going to have trouble, because my gear 12 squad's going to go before all of their relic characters. So definitely look at that as well. Look at the DSR bot stats, and check out what their history is from that point of view as well.
Apparently Grande is not in his vehicle. It's stopped, and I think he could be either going after another goat there, Nev, or chasing some chickens. Well, you never know with Grande.
I'm going to say he's gone for a coffee. He's gone to get a drink.
Well,
I reckon
that's a good guess, Nev, but you never know because
you never know.
Professor Chaos over there, you never know with Grande. So, oh boy. You're welcome, Darsign. Says thanks for the advice, Nev and Ranger, of course. Now, I'm supposed to be doing my GAC here right after this. I'm going to tag. It'll be sometime right after this. I don't have a specific time, but follow us on Twitch, because I'll do my GAC over there. Got a tough tough opponent coming up, so it's all hands on deck. So me and the GAC Whisperer are going to give it everything we got. Give it all we got, Captain, and see what we can do. And give it the old college try. If we win, we win. If we don't, we don't. Nev, I'm not too worried about it. It's like, okay, this is what it is. I'm throwing it out there. So, but yeah, he's 600, almost 700,000 more GP than me, Nev. Just a little bit more GP. So, slight disadvantage. So there's that. Yes.
There is that. Yeah.
Yes. It's poopy. All right. I don't see any other questions. I guess because we're wrapping up. It's about that time. It's about the time to. It's time to play the music. It's time to. No, sorry.
Light the lights.
It's time to get started on the Muppet Show tonight. Dum dum dum.
Dum dum dum.
Okay, so if you're watching this, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up, subscribe. We're gonna get on out of here. Of course, the Heinzie had to get out of here. It was like 3-4 o'clock in the morning there. So if you can, go follow Galactic Legend Heinzie over on Twitch. If you have not watched one of his streams, they're just outrageous. He streams usually 3 times a week. There should be a Christmas one coming up next Wednesday, so you guys will get a lot of streams out of me on Wednesday, because I'll have the lunch stream, our stream, and I think I'm going to go join everybody for the Christmas stream. Also, I was going to put out a video today. I'll wait till tomorrow to put out the next GAC video that we did. We put out 3 so far. The last one we did was on CLS, but we'll put out some more here during the week for you guys. I'll put one out tomorrow so you guys have another video, because we got the Jedi Academy, and we'll just let this one content take over for the day, and then tomorrow we'll put out another video. But the Nev GA Center, boy, I've been getting asked a lot of questions. You want to break it down here real quick, where me and you co-host the GA Center over on the Escape Pod cast?
We will be doing the first episode of GA Center next week. We don't know how the stats are going to roll in, so we normally we would do the Tuesdays, but for the first month, we're going to push it out to the Thursday, because it will give us a little bit of time to make sure that we can get the production done, the tables, the stat cards, and give the competitors a little bit of time with their reports, because there was a lot of delays.
Yeah.
Through no fault of SWGOH.GG's fault, it wasn't there, but we were getting a lot of late results, so we weren't getting the results by the time we would normally do the show on Tuesdays. So we're going to give it an extra few days, do the shows on Thursdays for the first month, see how that goes, because we've got whole new tables. We're not doing anything on banners. The rating will be the tiebreaker now, not banners. We're just going to be covering Kyber and Erodium. We're going to color code the divisions so that you can see that whether someone is div 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And the reason for that is that the promotion between divisions is probably going to be very, very fluid. So doing tables based on fixed divisions just isn't going to be clever at all. So we'll just color code. You'll see who's the best, because they're going to be in the last table that we show for Kyber. We'll see what the new format for GA Center looks like with me and Ranger next week.
Absolutely. All right. So do me a favor, guys. Go check out these awesome channels and these content creators. They take the time to be here. All the content creators that you can see is just when they're on here. Plus, just go watch a video, follow their content. It does help them out there. And we're gonna start wrapping it up. So I'll take a break here now. Just follow us on Twitch. I don't know when we're gonna start. I gotta wait for Thane to pop in, and we'll go knock out GAC. So I'll take a little short break, but between now and and noon. So I'll wait till the GAC Whisper to get his ass in here. He's probably just waking up on a Saturday morning like, well, wake up, Buttercup, because if I can be in with a couple hours sleep, you can get your ass up. So, Ronnie, any final thoughts before we get out of here? You hooligan?
Take the time to be intentional and to tell the people you love that you love them.
Good advice. I like that. See, simple, elegant, to the point. And if you get a chance in the general Discord, folks, wish Finn a happy married life day. So, good old Finn is tying the knot today, my friends. So, if you get a chance, please go into the general chat and just say, go in there and just say, hey, congrats on your wedding day. So it'll make them feel good. So just go in there. I'm sure people have been doing that directly, but if you want to just do it in general chat, feel free. Let Finn know that, hey, thinking about you. Congrats. So, all right, we're going to get the hell out of here. So on behalf of myself and the Jedi Academy, and including the Brown Gandalf, prisoner 6969 Grande Patron, the government Wi-Fi stealer. Thank you guys for joining us today. Have a great rest of your day. Be safe. We'll see you for GAC. And then just real quick as a note, next Friday and Saturday, I will definitely not be streaming. It's Christmas. Sorry. I'm going to be busy doing family stuff. I might do the Jedi Academy on New Year's Day, because it's early in the morning, and I might be able to get my junky ass up, because I really get Taiwan on New Year's Eve. What
Thank you, Bill Curtis. Thanks also to Tombo, that fake silly.
What the hell is that? Grande, are you listening to tunes?
Grande was he's muted himself.
Oh, okay. I was saying,
his radio on.
I was like, God dang, I don't need to hear Tex Arcana 101.1 the chicken. All right. So everyone have a great rest of your day. Get ready for some GAC action, and then follow Nev. Check out his stuff. Follow Heinze. Check out his stuff. Be safe. Be well, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace out.